Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today's build and play guide is on Sevastopol. This is the other campaign ship that you can pick instead of Rhode Island, and boy, is this a fantastic ship. There is not much I don't like about this. With that being said, if you don't know what Sevastopol is, it is Kronstadt with Gneisenau accurate guns. So this thing has got 15-inch guns on this super cruiser. And this thing is awesome. So let's get into it. Ivan BD, Delightful as our commander. Whatever you use for AP builds, honestly, Kuzganov would be good. The one thing this thing lacks is a lot of range. But we're using Membeli and Ragerwald along with Beyond Range, Igniter, Punch Through, Fear My Roar. But don't take this unless you have the commander maxed out. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Just take Fixated along with a refill station, which actually does help with your range a little bit. That being said, your modifications, we're using aiming systems and prop and concealment is always in the last slot. We are taking main battery 3, and you can upgrade that if you choose to epic or legendary. So for your consumables, you can take defensive AA or sonar. The sonar is much handier in my opinion, but that's up to you. The one thing I will say about these consumables, guys, is they're on weird button configurations, right? You go to hit your heel, and every time I hit my sonar. All right, so I wish Wargaming would make them totally customizable. That would be helpful, but right now it's not. Three heals, and you're like, oh, 312 per second, that's okay. No, no, it's 60 seconds, guys. Get your crap together. Pay attention. I didn't. I didn't realize this thing was as good of a heal as it is. And you can take some massive damage in this thing and heal it right back. These are great heals. It almost makes me want to take fully packed, but you really don't need it. And then with that being said, you have a very solid engine boost. It is 20%, and it is for 45 seconds. So short duration, but French speed, basically. And I'm not kidding you, this thing can get up and haul. To be honest, in some ways, this is what I was hoping Incompatible was going to be. Uh, in a lot of ways, really. But then it ended up being um, unplayable. That being said, survivability 63,000 health. This is a lot of health. So almost as much as incomparable or incapable for a super cruiser. This is a very solid, um, especially with them heals. And you do get, it does seem like you can actually get a lot of that heal off too. So torpedo reduction also really good, 34%, and the fire resistance at 40. Main battery, guys, this thing shines. All right. Um, I was not expecting to like this thing as much as I did. I figured I would like it, but I really like it. Your range isn't amazing, but boy, when you hit stuff with these guns, these are Gneisenau guns, except for they're accurate, and they reload very quickly at 15 seconds. So you have 6 guns that reload at 16 seconds or 15 seconds. Man, is this thing just can be absolutely devastating. If you got the right lineup of broadside battleships, this thing could do a bunch of damage. Shell grouping is 6.2, or I mean 2.2, so very accurate. And when you see my stats in this, you guys are gonna laugh. Um, HE shell damage not good, right? It's Russian. It's not great. That looks like decent fire chances, and it's not awful, but it's not that great either. All right. Alpha on HE, not great. AP shell damage, not too bad, right? 15-inch guns, this is, you know what I mean? But again, you're reloading, like, for example, the other ship I'm going to compare it to a little bit that kind of came out because they're both kind of battle cruisers, is Incapable. And Incapable has 6 guns that reload in like 30 seconds. This does it in 50 seconds, giving you a solid amount of DPM, right? Also, the muzzle velocity of this actually is faster, right? And armor pen on this thing is unbelievable, right? For what it is. You have 15 at max range and or 500 at max range, meaning you can send it out battleships at range, and up close, it's pretty awesome. Also, the you can see the ricochet angles are 50 and 65, so not quite as good. You'll see a couple times of that catching me off guard a tiny bit, and it does have a shorter fuse. But the secondaries here, not really worth mentioning. They're within 5 kilometers. AA, it's not. At least it's a little bit out at range, but it's not that great, right? All of it's at least out past 4. Like for example, Sevastopol or Incapable, the other battle cruiser that came out today, quote unquote. That thing had all of its AA really close in. This is actually kind of usable AA, but you still, even at legendary tier, this is not wonderful AA. Um, Not, it's Russian, so it has a terrible turning circle, obviously, but this thing is quick. 33 knots, but where it really shines is at 20% boost, getting you almost up to 40 knots. Um, Concealment, not great. It's a Russian cruiser, right? Stats. All right. 5 matches, and it was super consistent through all 5. These guns are absolutely lethal accurate. I'm not kidding you. 54%, and they reload every 15 seconds. Now, I have not had a match where I've been able just to shoot my guns off at broadside targets the entire match. But I can assure you, when I do, I'm going to have some pretty crazy games in this. But as you guys know, the last 2 days, I think we've done like 7 videos on the channel and a live stream. So, with limited amount of time and incomparable taking up a lot of that time trying to figure that ship out and make it a little bit better, I didn't have much of time and I didn't need it. This is a Russian super cruiser. It's Kronstadt with better guns, right? We know what this is. Um, but this thing is lethally accurate, guys. 54% is crazy. That's one of the highest numbers I have in the entire game on a ship. I know it's only 5 games, but this thing is don't miss. All right. Except for when shells land short, apparently. But outside of that, really solid numbers. 120 average, a 2400 XP average. It is very good. All right. Obviously, we're winning at 8% rate, but even at that, a 2400 XP is very solid. And this thing, I'm gonna have some pretty gnarly games in the future in this thing. I can assure you of that. But average damage 120, not bad. Potential damage against me, right? We're surviving about half the battles. 1.3 million potential damage. So it means I'm taking these hits in this ship and being able to survive most of the time, right? Or a good fair amount of the time, at least, about half right now. That's going to even be better down the road. I got caught once in this, but outside of that, it's been pretty wonderful uh, so far. Armor, look at that. That's pretty decent for a cruiser. As you can see here, 21. So you can get overmatched through the bow, but everything else you're gonna basically be able to angle to, right? As you can see, where is our, let's see, our side plating is 30. So when 18-inch guns start shooting at you, it can hurt a little bit, obviously, because of overmatch, and then it overmatches your side plating and deck. But not, it's really not that bad, guys. This thing, the Citadel, um, I mean, pretty darn low. It's in there. It's narrowed. Sometimes you're gonna get overpenned, but not very often. So don't rely on that, right? Like I did try that uh, in a match to go see if it would go through me. It did not, right? And if it wasn't anything besides incapable shooting me, I would have died. But that being said, you can angle. And please do, because you can take a lot of damage in this thing. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player. Not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we're on Atlantic. Now, as long as you don't go broadside, this ship is plenty fine. And the other thing I could see is people trying to build this for 20-kilometer range, and that would make this ship probably not nearly as accurate, right? It's Russian. Russian cruisers, they're definitely better when you play them closer than farther away. And a lot of people play them out far, I know. But the reason Russian cruisers are some of my favorites is because when you play them close in, like the rest of Russians, they can be very effective. So we're using the speed to get on the flank on Atlantic. And actually, we're going to have a kind of a rough go here in the beginning. But you see our first shot, we did okay. We hit 4 of our 6 shells. And they reload quick. Not too fancy, right? Aki's kind of angled to us, so we're just taking the best hits that we can. Also, with the carriers in this match, you can tell there is a battleship going behind that island. You're going to tell I am well aware of that, all right, in this entire match. Also here, we are trying to get the broadside of Aki. To be honest, at first, we're not going to get a ton of help, all right? And we got to ride it out and be patient. Can you take in... take a lot of hits in this? Absolutely. But do you want to if you don't have a lot of help and you're going to be center of attention? Not really. So right here, we're going to cool it. We're at 15 kilometers. We're still hitting a bunch of our shells, right? The last salvo, we shattered some because Aki's angled. You're going to see, I'm going to make an adjustment here as we get stuffed by the mountain, by the Shaquille O'Neal mountain, the island. These things are hard to lob, right? It's Russian. You're not going to be able to lob everything with them. And you can see that was kind of a mistake by that. Here comes the carrier, and he's going to drop some. And then also, I believe Aki's going to drop us as well. We're going to take a shot and switch over to HE. We know there is a battleship in front of us. Right here, you can see all we do is shoot down 2 of the planes, and we didn't even shoot down a couple of them until after the drop, so you can see what I mean about the AA not being super wonderful. And you'll see that later on, right? That being said, we know where the battleship is. We know he's over there. We're just trying to be careful. We don't know exactly what it is yet. So we're going to take a shot at Aki. With him angling and being effective, we got to actually shoot AG. All right. And we're going to shatter some, but we're going to get the fire. Now, sadly, he's going to get out of range before we get another fire set. So, even with me taking some dumb shots in this match, you're going to see that considering our accuracy is what it is in this, you're going to laugh because a 54% and I'm taking dumb shots like that where they're getting out of range. Pretty impressive. That being said, we know we're really wondering where this battleship is. You can see I am backing up. I'm being careful. We don't want to get surprised because if you do give your broadside up in this ship, it can be real bad. And I mean real bad. I played Kronstadt enough to know how these ships react. Obviously, when you go broadside, you ain't gonna be in the match long, right? Then we find out it's an incomparable, which could be a problem because he overmatches us. So we're gonna back up and we're gonna take a shot here at Repub, and as we're backing up now, kind of a little bit in a pickle because we got a ship to our left and to our right. And they do both overmatch us. So we got to be a little bit careful. You can see I'm trying to shift my gears here. I read this wrong. I probably should have just stayed backwards the whole time, and I probably would have been okay too. We don't take a huge damage, right? Like, we're not getting Citadel because we're angled, and honestly, can pen the side plating, but we're really not too much at risk. I take a shot here as I'm backing out of range, and we're still going to get one pen to hit. So really kind of a dumb shot by me, but I just decided to try to take it. We do get one. Right now, we're just being careful. We're holding down this flank. We're making sure nobody's getting the cap. That's like our biggest thing right here. We don't want to give that up. Now, we're losing it. We got 2 ships down. Not ideal, right? And I'll be honest, I thought he was going to keep coming, actually, from to the left into that gap that you can see I'm kind of looking at. He's actually going to catch me off guard here. And incomparable is going to come out of the right side. You can see I was angling to the left, and you can see here we're gonna try to stop and go here. We're gonna get hit. Now, if that was anything but the incapable, we probably could have died there because we were not angled enough, right? And that could have been real bad, but luckily it was an incapable shooting at us, so he only hit us with 2 shells at 8 kilometers. And kudos to our Yamato here. He's gonna realize the situation, and this incapable can't angle to both of us, right? And it can't angle to him at all, so he should be angling to me, but he is not going to realize with our speed here, we're going to catch this guy off guard with his pants off. And you can see the angle right there that I was talking about. Normally that would pen because of the Russian angle, kind of, you're going to see it. We bounce 2 shells. But we are not going to make that same mistake here, as we almost depth strike him. We're hitting 5 shells with 2 citadels. So almost depth struck him there. He's going to get his heel off. Obviously, we know torpedoes are coming. By the way, I accidentally hit sonar trying to heal. As you guys saw that crazy good heal that we had. I'll try to showcase that heal one more time because we're going to have it here in a second. It's not looking good for us. We're down 4 ships right now. And as our buddy goes down. But kudos to him actually for doing that. Also here, we're going to try to get him right through that kind of that rear cheek area. We're going to hit all 6 shells. 3 are going to bounce. 3 are going to pen him, right? And we're going to reload before he can. And shame, he probably went through a bunch of shells. Or a bunch of crates to get that ship. And probably not too happy right now. He pulled out and did something for about a minute. And he's back at port. We're going to grab this cap. Make sure we're going to hold this down. We don't have a destroyer, but we're going to take a shot at defense here. At this point, I kind of know we're going to win. Why is that? We got a points lead, and as long as we hold down and don't die, as you can see our good heal go off there again. As long as we don't die, we have this one kind of on lockdown, right? They haven't had the caps. We've had the caps for a while. We have a big advantage. Their ships actually start going down. We have 3 of us on this team that are playing very solid at all 3 parts of the map. Aki was at the A cap playing well. There was a Zhao playing at B playing well, and I was playing really well at C, and that's what held us down. You're going to see we didn't shoot a plane down until after he dropped us. Okay? Now we're going to start to shoot planes down when we get closer in. And again, he's going to be able to get 2 drops off. You guys, some people I feel like don't understand the AA mechanics in this game. But, well, besides the flak mechanics as well. But just because something has a bunch of numbers doesn't mean it's good AA. As you can see, he's been hovering over us, shooting us down. And now, only now are we shooting planes down, right? So after he got 2, his first drop off, and he got 2 full drops off. on us. It's not like we've been being beaten up by HE and all our AA mounts destroyed. Is we hit that carrier for 6 shells in a citadel. The only way I feel people might not like this ship is if they're not map aware and they get broadsided a lot. And also if they try to play this ship at 20 kilometers. If you build into range and play this ship at 20 kilometers, you're probably not going to have a good time. Right? As we get a couple shells to hit, but we need them spotted again. I'm kind of rushing my shots now because don't know how long he's going to get spotted. Also, on their team, there's going to be a Shimakaze that's here till the end of the match. I feel bad for their team as you see his score, as he's going to hide the entire rest of the match now, this Shimakaze. And you guys are going to see his score and go, wow, it's actually, not to rip on this guy, but it's actually talent that you could be alive this long and playing this long and get that low of a score. That being said, a 3,400 base XP game, clearly helping our team win along with 3,000 or 2 or 3 total teammates above 3,000. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.